What if I told you there were simple exercises that you can do for your knee that helps reduce knee pain, build strength, make walking, squatting, climbing, doing things that you love to do much easier. I've put together a compilation video of my best knee strengthening exercises so that you have everything in one place and you can pick one or all of these exercises and do them 2 to 3 times a week to get the most benefits from it. I've coached hundreds of clients over the age of 40, 50, 60 and 70, and many people have knee pain. Even myself, I've had 8 knee surgeries over the last sort of 15 years or so. And these are some of the exercises I do for myself and with our clients to get some incredible strength and mobility back into those knees. So enjoy the video. If you've got any problems or if you've got any questions, leave them down below, but grab yourself a cup of tea, watch the video, take the best exercises, the ones that you think that you can do, and I promise you, if you continue to do these a couple of times a week, you're gonna have fantastic results, and I know that for sure. So enjoy the video, and I will see you on the next one. What if I told you there's one simple band exercise that can help reduce knee pain, rebuild strength, and make walking, squatting, and climbing stairs feel so much easier, especially if you're over 50. Whether your knees feel weak, injured, or you just have some off days, this movement will target the exact muscles that protect and stabilize the knee joint. It's low impact, it's joint friendly, and most importantly, it works. I've coached hundreds of clients over the age of 50, and if they have knee pain, this is one of the first exercises I teach them because strong knees change everything. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact exercise, the exact setup, and how you can modify it if your knees are sore or they're feeling good or you're just getting back into training. And if we haven't met yet, I'm Gavin. I co-own New Zealand's only fitness studio for people over the age of 40. And this right here is the exact kind of smart, sustainable strength coaching I do every single day. So before we jump into this exercise, I just want to give you some context behind this. So I've personally had over 8 knee surgeries myself, and this exercise was actually a key part of my rehab. And even though my knee still is not 100%, it's probably close to that right now. I'm able to run, I'm training for Ironman and doing things like that. And this exercise, like I said, has been integral to helping me strengthen the knee. And one thing I want to talk to you about is the quad muscle. The muscle we're trying to actually strengthen here is the quad muscle. It's the VMO, they call it, vastus medialis oblique. Remembered it. And what it does is it supports the knee. It's the muscle that supports the whole knee joint, and it attaches down right in here, okay? And what it is, that muscle is one of the fastest muscles to deteriorate in your entire body, and it's very difficult to get back. And what we find is time and time again, if we can strengthen the quad muscle, knee pain generally starts to fade a little bit, depending of course on what is going on with your knee. But I find this to be very effective. So the way I like to set this up, now I've got a big post here, you may not have that, and I'll show you, near to the end of the video how to set it up if you haven't got this. But let's just say you've got a post, you can wrap it around. The bands themselves are loop bands. There's lots of different types, but I like these bands. They're quite versatile, very strong and robust, and they work very well. So I'm going to just loop it around the post this way, and you're going to make a loop, and you're just going to tighten it against it. And what you want is to be around about knee level, not too high, not too low, about this level. And you're going to step your foot into the band that way, and it just goes below the knee. Now, some people this can cause some pain or hurt the skin a little bit. You can put like a towel or something behind it to stop that happening. And if you've got like a Baker's cyst or something stuck behind the knee, this may not work super well. So you could have it lowered down that way, but I prefer it to be behind the knee, right? So when you think of what the knee actually does, it actually extends and contracts that way. Now, when you put your foot in a band and you step backwards, the muscle still contracts. It's a beautiful way to do it. And when your foot is on the floor as well, it's called a closed chain exercise. And it means that your foot isn't moving around in space, it's on the floor. And when you stamp your heel back down, all the muscles in the leg fire exactly as they should. And it's important to understand that. So I'm going to put my leg in. I'm going to just have that band just behind the knee. And I've got a post I can lean on. So I'm going to take my leg back and just get a little bit of a stretch on that band. I'm going to put the ball of my foot on the floor. And this is quite tight. I can start to feel it. I'm going to support myself against the post this way. I'm going to stamp my foot back down that way. And when I stamp the foot down, the muscle just contracts. The quad just activates straight away, and you can feel it burning pretty quick. I'm going to let it go forward again, not going to take my foot off the floor, and stamp it back down, and slowly take it back forward, and stamp it back down again. Now, I'll probably do 12 to 15 reps, and if you watch a lot of my videos, 12 to 15 reps is a great number, providing it's challenging at the end. Before I move on to the other side, all right? 12 to 15 reps is perfect. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to rest just a little bit, and then I'm going to repeat it 2 more times after that, right? Now, also as well, while I've got you, I've got a full body band workout that you can have absolutely free. All you need to do is comment bands down below, and I will send that to you. And it's basically joint friendly, designed for over 40s, more towards people that are maybe a little bit injured or can't lift heavy weights. But comment bands and I will send that over to you. Now, if you haven't got a post, I'm going to take you over to the door and show you how you can set it up within the door. So what you get is you get like an anchor point like this. So these bands come with these anchor points, all right? And this anchor point will slide through the door. So I'll try and show you as best I can. It slides behind the door, okay? And there's usually a ball on the end. I haven't got the ball this time. And when you close the door, the door closes and the ball stays behind the door that way. And then obviously this is a loop. This is broken. But there's a loop like that. And what you do is then you just feed the band in through the loop exactly the same way that we just did it. Something a bit like that, right? And this sticks behind the door that way, and then you can pull against it. It's very, very strong. So all you do then, you put this behind the door this way, and that will stick in right there, and it'll pull right against there, and you can set it at that right height, and you can do it against the door. So it's a great way to do it if you haven't got a post. So that was the video for today. Like, a lot of questions around where do you get those bands from. If you type in power bands into Google, there'll be a whole bunch of companies that do them. I don't sell them myself, obviously, so go and have a look at those. And you can get different sizes. They're like medium, strong, easy kind of scenario. And you can get them in a set as well, so try it out. So look, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If you would like a full banded workout, comment bands down below and I will send that across to you. In this video, I'm going to give you my #1 tip to activate your quads in an instant. I'm Gavin. I've gone through 8 knee surgeries over the last sort of 15 to 20 years. I call New Zealand's only fitness studio for people over the age of 40. And many of those people have really bad knees. And one of the best ways to improve your knee pain, whether it be through surgery or arthritis or osteoporosis, is to simply activate the quads and build up that quad strength. But a lot of people really struggle to do that. The muscle that's responsible for actually keeping your knee pain sort of at bay, right, is the inside quad, the muscle called the VMO that lies on the inside of your knee. And that is responsible for the main driver to extend your knee that way. And the problem is, and the problem I found and what I see with my clients as well, is that this is one of the fastest declining muscles in the kind of body, and it takes a long time to get that back. And even now, after all these years, this quad is a little bit smaller than this quad, but I have done a lot of work and I've actually been able to activate it and strengthen it. And now I'm able to do so many things like, running triathlons and all sorts of cool stuff like that. And I have zero knee pain these days. So the #1 trick that you need to be aware of is the external rotation of your legs. This plays a huge part in activation of those quad muscles. This is pretty cool. And you can do this with me as well, so you can feel it instantly as well. I want you to stand forward with your feet facing forward. I want you to straighten your knees, okay? It's a bit of a weird feeling. But what I want you to do is think about pushing your knee back as far as you can go, and you can feel the muscles tighten up on the front of your leg. That is quad activation. However, if you do this one little thing, turn out your toes like a pigeon. Bring your feet a little bit closer together. Now tighten the knees the same way and push the knees backwards. You will immediately feel this quad muscle light up. It is so cool. It's instant, right? And if you can't, then practice it a little bit and you will feel it tighten up. And it tightens up way more than if your feet are parallel. So now you understand that activation tip. What I want you to do is practice it, okay? So do it with me. You're going to pigeon out your toes a little bit. You're going to squeeze your knees together and you're going to count to 15 seconds, all right? And you're going to keep that tight on there. And what you'll feel is, you'll feel this sort of rising sort of burn and tension in the muscle as it comes up, okay, now you're activating your quads. And you may feel it at different parts, but that's okay. But I start to feel it right on the inside there, which is amazing. And once you've done that a couple of times, you've activated your quad. You now know what it feels like. And that is the key thing, understanding your mind-muscle connection. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take you over to a wall and we're going to actually work on the strength part of this exercise. Now, why are we choosing a wall? Well, this exercise is called a wall sit. And this is one of the best exercises, apart from cycling, by the way, which is another video, on how to actually strengthen your quad muscles. A lot of people with knee pain struggle with knee bend. So certain parts of the squat, up and down, okay, it hurts, it catches, really, really unpleasant. But this way, when you use a static hold, it's called an isometric hold, and an isometric hold can build a lot of strength very, very quickly. Is one of the best ways to just increase your leg strength, okay? It's brilliant because it doesn't cause pain generally, and if it does, you can find the right height for you that doesn't cause pain. And number two, it builds up a lot of tension in the muscle. It allows you to activate the quad, to think about the muscle you work in, to build strength. And the way you're gonna do it, you're gonna come down and know the principle of turning your toes out. That's gonna get a better quad activation. You're gonna drop yourself down into a seated position. Now, I do still have a bad knee at certain points, and this angle for me isn't very comfortable, but a little bit lower is fine for me. Also a little bit higher. You may feel the same thing. There may be a point there that it catches. So don't worry about it. Just come down, find a place that is pain-free, and then you're gonna sit there for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 seconds. And the other tip, I'll put my legs up better. The other tip that I want you to do is lift up your big toe in your shoe. This instantly puts the weight back onto your heels, and straight away, that VMO inner quad muscle lights up straight away, and it is activated for sure. And when I'm sitting in this position for a length of time, it's going to make my legs stronger. And what I want you to do is go for as long as you can, that's comfortable, and stand back up, all right? Then you're going to take 30 seconds or 40 seconds to rest, and you're going to go back down to the same position, and you're going to repeat the same time that you just did. So even if you just did 10 seconds, you're going to practice 10 seconds for a week or so. Then as you get stronger and as you get better and as you can deal with the sort of tension in the muscle, you can go 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And that is how you build your leg strength. And by the end of it, you should be able to do about a minute, even minute and a half, relatively easy, okay? And that is going to go a long, long way to help you with your bad knees and activating those quad muscles, because that's super important. Now, let me know in the comments, like, what knee pain do you have? Is it after a surgery, a knee replacement, osteoarthritis? What is it? Let me know. I'd love to know what it is that you're dealing with. I'm going to jump in here real quick and share with you the simple knee pain fix that worked immediately for Caroline, my client, who's over 50, okay? So if you've got knee problems and you find that when you're standing up off a chair or something, you know, you get that nasty sharp pain in your knee, I'm going to give you something today that will pretty much fix it, hopefully, for you, depending on the knee pain that you have. So if you haven't met me, I'm Gavin. I'm a personal trainer at Alcoa, New Zealand's only fitness studio for people over the age of 40. I've actually gone through 8 knee surgeries myself, so I do know a little bit about knee pain. And the problem we have is that to get strong knees, you actually have to, you know, move your legs, okay? You got to do some squat kind of pattern. You got to put load and weight on them, because we know if you can strengthen the muscles around the knee, then it's going to make the knee pain a lot better, okay? And the quad muscles are a super important thing. But the thing of it is, there's only so many things that you can do to strengthen your quads. So as I was going through Caroline's plan, okay, we used to have sort of squats and stuff in there. But the thing of it is, when she stood up from a chair, she would actually get really sharp knee pain. So what we have to do, look for clever ways to still work the quads, but not cause the knee pain itself. And you can see we're using something called a TRX, or a suspension trainer. And what a suspension trainer does, it offloads a lot of that weight of the legs, because your whole body's pushing down, and it allows you to do a squat pattern like what she's doing. You can see she's coming down, she's got complete knee bend as well, which is great, and she can stand straight away up. And as she stands and pushes, she's actually engaging her quad muscles to get a really good contraction. And when you do that, we know that we're going to be able to strengthen those knee joints. And as she goes through this exercise, she actually suffers with chronic pain through her body as well. So she's got like arthritis, and she suffers with other things, sciatic pain and whatnot. But this way, we instantly fixed her knee pain just by using the TRX squat, because of the fact it offloads a lot of that weight. As she comes down, she stands back up, she's absolutely knee pain. And the next thing that we did is that because we need to work on her quads and knee strength and balance at the same time, you can see then we put it onto a small box. And what I find personally as well, and with other people, is that squatting, even standing from a chair, can cause knee pain just because of the way the exercise is done. But standing onto a box or a small level and standing upwards actually doesn't sort of elicit the same amount of pain. Not for most people anyway. Some people are different, and obviously you can do that. So when you stand on that box by one leg, you can use the back leg to push off just a little bit, and then you slowly take it back down. And I think because it's a closed chain exercise, what it means is that as soon as you put one foot on the floor, all the muscles of that leg and sort of that one side of the hip start to fire at the same time. Your body works a little bit better. And the thing of it is, you can adjust the level of this step. So you can have a low step or high step or a really high step, and you can find the range of which is the best thing for you. So you may find that a high step causes knee pain, but a lower step doesn't. And the beauty about that is that you can adjust this to your own ability, which means that you can still work on those quad muscles, you can still work on your balance, and you can do it in a way that's right for you. And that's really important for us as coaches, is to find the right the right depth and the right angles and the right exercises to eliminate some of that pain. And the net positive about this is that we can actually get her legs really, really strong without having to stick to traditional exercises like squats, because a lot of people can't do squats. And lunges, another one that a lot of people talk about. And these are very, very, really good variations. So the TRX is a squat, but it's not a traditional squat. And the step up is kind of a one-legged movement like a lunge, but it doesn't cause the same pain as a normal lunge would, okay? So I just wanted to jump in and share with you this little tip for you. And let me know in the comments, do you suffer from kind of knee pain, and does it hurt when you stand up off a chair and things like that? If it does, let me know, and maybe I can send you some resources to help. But on that though, I've got a full body workout that I would love to send you for free, okay? It's going to work on all the muscles of the body. There's a lot of adaptations in there, which is friendly on the joints, but it's still going to give you a really good workout as well and build the muscles that what we're trying to build, all right? So if you do want a copy of that, let me know in the comments and comment strength. I will send that straight over to you. So I hope you enjoy the video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a series of this called Coach's Corner every single week. I'm going to find a tip that I help with one of my clients, and I'm going to share that with you. And for the people that stick around, I've got a magic keyword for you, okay? And the keyword today is knees, because we're working on knees. So if you stuck around and you're this far and you're part of the coach's corner, then it's a small group of people. Not many people get to this point of the video, and I want you to comment knees down below. I can have a different word every single week to let you know about, right? So that's it from me. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next video. Imagine a world where stiff and sore knees no longer hold you back. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 simple dumbbell exercises tailored to those people over 50 that will strengthen your knees and hopefully give you some lasting relief. If we haven't met yet, I'm Gavin. I co-own New Zealand's only fitness studio for people over the age of 40. I've personally gone through 8 knee surgeries myself, and these exercises are some of the staples that I use to help me get my strength back and mobility and became pain-free. We also see a lot of knee injuries in our fitness studio. People with arthritis, meniscus tears, knee replacements, you name it, we have it. And these are some of the same exercises that we use with our clients so that they can get stronger, they can be more active and move around relatively pain-free. So the first exercise that we're going to do a pulse squat, okay? So squat's a fantastic exercise to build up the quad muscles in the leg. And by strengthening the quad muscles, you're going to support the knee a little bit better, and hopefully the stronger the knee, the less knee pain you have because the joint is doing less of the work. So the way to do this exercise, you only need a relatively light one, okay? And you're going to hold it like this, like your arm in the middle of your palms, fingers pointing up, like a goblet. It's a version of a goblet squat. You're going to put the weight close to your body like this. Give it a good old hug, all right? And what I want you to do is drive your hips back towards the back of the room. And as you drive your hips back, you're going to bend your knees just a little bit. And you're going to come up a little bit, and you're going to come down a little bit. Come up a little bit, and down a little bit. This is called a pulse. And what you're trying to do, you're trying to put as much load and tension in those quad muscles as possible. You're gonna feel the burn, it's gonna start to rise a little bit, and the burn is exactly what you want. And you're gonna do this for about 30 seconds. If you don't feel the burn though, you need probably to get a heavier dumbbell. This is only 4 kilos, so start light, and then you can build that up over time. So you're gonna do it for 30 seconds, and then you're gonna rest for 30 seconds. A little tip that I wanna tell you about as well though, is I want you to turn out your toes a little bit like a pigeon, all right? Stick your toes pointing outwards, okay? And you're gonna have, I know, just under your hips. Bring the dumbbell close to your body, take your hips back, and you're gonna come down to about 45 degrees, come up just below lock, and pulse it back down again. Make sure that your hips are going backwards though, and that your knees are not going over your toes. And you're gonna sit there and pulse this out nice and gentle for about 30 seconds. The second exercise is going to be a drop squat or a dumbbell deadlift. Lots of many names for it. But the idea of it is you're going to use your hands like hooks. The weight is just going to dangle in front of your body. And the same process, I'm going to use the same process where you're going to, but this time you're going to have a slightly wider stance. It's going to give you your body an opportunity to drop into this exercise. If your knees are too close, you can't do that. I'll show you what I mean. So my hips, my legs are a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Chest up nice up tall. The kettlebell or dumbbell is hanging in my fingers. I'm gonna take my hips back. My back is nice and straight. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it down nice and low so the forearms touch the inside of my legs. And then I'm gonna come straight back up again. Drop it down and come straight back up. So this is having a bit of a double effect. It's hitting your quads and it's hitting your glutes at the same time. And we know if we can strengthen our glutes, it's going to cause more hip stability, which in turn will help the knees track a little bit better, and you're going to have a really good effect on your lower body strength and mobility. And again, you're going to do this, but 30 to 35 seconds as well. And come back up, slowly drop it down, come back up. What I don't want you to do though, I don't want you to come down and then lift it. That's not what we're doing. This is just supporting the weight. So you come down, your forearms hit the inside of your knees, and you come straight back up again. If you get to 30 to 45 seconds and it is super, super easy, have a heavier weight. If though you find that 30 to 45 seconds is difficult, then you don't use a weight at all or use a lighter weight. If you find yourself getting knee pain in any stage of this movement, so for some people, you might get it at the bottom. For some people, it might be at the top. Find a range somewhere in there that is relatively pain-free and work within that range. And gradually over time, what I found anyway, is I was able to increase that range of movement, and then I was pain-free throughout the whole thing. So figure out for yourself, like I said, it's a bit of trial and error at the start, but once you figure that out, you're gonna be a long way to getting stronger knees. You're gonna find yourself a nice sturdy wall, okay? And you're gonna use the dumbbell to add some weight to this. And this is called a wall sit. So what I want you to do, the same principle applies. If you come down to a certain level and there's some knee pain, try and find a point within this squat that doesn't cause any pain. And you're gonna put this dumbbell on your lap, okay? Again, what I want you to do is stick your toes out just a little bit, okay? As you come down, find a spot that's comfortable. Keep the weight on your hips, and you're just gonna hang out for about 30 to 40 seconds, depending on your level of fitness and strength, and you're gonna feel those quads start to work there, which is fantastic and exactly what we want. Once you do that, you can obviously stand back up again, take a rest for 30 seconds and come back down. Again though, if this is too easy, use a heavier dumbbell. If it's too hard, don't use a dumbbell at all and just use your body weight until you get to a point where you can add some weight to that. The next exercise that we have is calf raises, and calves are the muscles at the back of the shin there. And again, once we start to strengthen these muscles, it takes a lot of pressure off the knee joint itself and goes a long way to helping improve your knee pain, all right? So the way I like to do it, you're gonna go one leg on the floor and you're gonna use this light dumbbell. You're gonna hook that leg behind the other one and you're gonna stand up tall. Really squeeze the muscle at the back and slowly take it back down and come back up. Again, same principle applies though. If it's too hard with the dumbbell, just drop the dumbbell and do body weight. If it's too easy, then obviously use a heavier dumbbell. But what I want this time is for you to hit about 15 to 20 repetitions of this, okay, going up and down. What you're also gonna find, you're gonna find that the glute starts to work a little bit, which is again great. because you're working on the stabilizing muscles as well, because you're going to feel a burn in the calves and in the glute, and that's great as well. And you're going to find the calves obviously start to work pretty hard at the same time. But like I said, do the best you can, work within the range and pain level that you've got right now. It's going to be a fantastic exercise moving forward. The last exercise we've got is called a tib raise. So we've worked the quads, we've worked the glutes a little bit, we've worked the calves at the back. Now we're going to work this big muscle at the front, which actually is really, really undertrained in most people. So you're going to get the dumbbell and you're going to pop this over your foot. Now what I like to do is get the diagonal across the toes this way. And all you're going to do, you're going to lift it up off the floor and slowly drop it down. And to do that, and once you've done one side, obviously you swap it over and you do the other side. If you're over 60 and you're struggling to walk up and down stairs because of knee pain, I want to share with you the only 3 exercises that you need to become pain-free. And at the end, I'm going to share one bonus move that's also going to enhance the quality of these exercises. One of the most common causes of knee pain when walking up and down the stairs is something called patellofemoral pain syndrome, or PFPS, sometimes called runner's knee. And here's why. It's due to increased load on the kneecap, which is caused by 3 to 5 times your body weight going through the kneecap when you tackle some stairs. And if the kneecap doesn't track quite smoothly, this causes extra stress and irritates the cartilage underneath. And usually it's down to a weak VMO, which is the quad muscle on the inside of your leg there, or hip stabilizers can cause the kneecap to slide slightly out of its groove, and this shows up as pain on stairs or doing squats or sitting for long periods of time. Some other contributors though are a tight IT band, weak glutes, or prior injuries. And in short, if your knees hurt when you're walking up and down stairs, it's often a sign that the kneecap isn't tracking properly. Okay, so we are going to need 2 pieces of equipment for this, okay? And I've got a foam roller here, and I've got a looped band to get these things done. So if you haven't got these pieces of equipment, that's totally fine, but I am going to recommend you use this, okay? So first of all, the first exercise that we're going to do is something called a banded knee extension. So I'm going to use this loop band here, and I'm going to use a pole, and I'm also going to show you how to use a door anchor to do this if you so require, okay? So what you're going to do, you're going to loop this around this way, and you're just going to make it sort of tight that way. And you want the band to be at knee height, and it's going to sit just behind the back of your leg there. So be careful, get your balance, pop your leg in there. What I want you to do is take that leg back on using the ball of your foot. I want you to just step down that way, okay? Adjust the other leg forward just a little bit, and you're going to find a lot of tension on the band that way, and you're going to find the inside muscle of the quad start to fire up. That's exactly the exercise we want. You're going to brace yourself on this wall, let the knee drift forward, and you're going to stamp your heel back on the floor and really squeeze. Let it come forward again, and again squeeze it. You want to hold the squeeze for about 2 to 3 seconds to make sure that quad activates. And you're going to do this 12 to 15 times as you do it. And obviously you would swap legs over to do the other side as well. So when you buy these bands, they may or may not come with a door anchor. This is a kind of a door anchor that I'll be using for this one. But all it is, you've got a big weighted end this way, and then you've got something that you can loop the bands in that way, right? So on the end there, what I will do is I'll feed the band through this way, and then just feed it through itself again. And then what you've got is a very strong door anchor. So when you've got this door anchor set up, what you're going to do, you're going to find a door that stops on the way you're going to pull it, okay? So don't knock the other side. And you put this on the back of the door that way. And then you pull the door shut, and then you've got this very strong anchor that's not going to come off, and it's very, very safe. So again, obviously you would lower it back down to where my knees were, and you repeat the exercise next to a door, and this is how you would do this exercise without having a pole or a post to wrap into. So the next exercise that we're going to do, I want you to pay a little bit of caution to this as well. It's called a step down. Now, you already got knee pain stepping down off a step, obviously. So I want you to be really careful with this, okay? But we do need to control it. So I've got a small step here. And what we're going to do, we're going to stand on to the step, and you're gently going to lower yourself down in a controlled manner that way. Now, what I will say, that might well cause you pain because you already have it. So you use a smaller step or a smaller box. You could even use a book if you needed to stand on. But the idea is you want to get that controlled knee bend progressively to build up to it, because we know if we can get our foot on the floor and bend it gently, it's something called a closed chain exercise, which means all the muscles of the leg fire at the same time, and we want this to be pain-free as well. And if you do it progressively, you're going to build up the strength and hopefully alleviate that knee pain when you come to a bigger step. Again, you want to be doing about 12 to 15 reps on each side as well to even your body out and make sure your leg's nice and strong, and you want to be doing it that way as well. But do be careful though, if any pain happens, either don't do the exercise at all, find a lower step, or speak to a professional, whether it be a physiotherapist or a personal trainer that works with people like you, to give you something that's more personalized as well. Okay, the third exercise we're going to look at is something called a banded glute bridge, okay? And I've got a little bit of a different way to do this. What you're going to do, you're going to loop the band in half and you're going to wrap it around your knees this way. Now, what I want you to do, a lot of people do glute bridges like this. They have their legs apart and they sit up that way. This doesn't do a huge amount, all right? And what I want you to do is activate the glutes when you do it. So I want you to bring your feet closer together, drop your knees out and actively push out, and then lift your glutes up. And you'll feel the glutes light up straight away, okay? And it doesn't happen when you do it this way. It needs to happen. You need your hips or legs to be slightly externally rotated. So you're gonna push it out, actively hit the band again, head on the floor if that's comfortable, and lift up your glutes and really get them to fire. Now you're gonna hang out just here and you're gonna sit here for about 30 to 40 seconds for this one. And when you're finished, you're gonna come back to the start, wait 30 seconds, and again, repeat that again 2 more times, all right? So really important you keep your toes together. This is gonna give you the max activation for your glute, going a long way to strengthen all the muscles that you need to actually support your knee pain. Now, I've got one more move that I want to share with you guys, okay, before we go. I'm going to share with you a bonus move that not many people talk about when they talk about patella pain, right? And when I said at the beginning, it means that your kneecap doesn't track right within your sort of, in your knee, right? So I want you to imagine, okay, that the groove in my hand is where the patella sits that way. It sits in this groove, and it's supposed to do this. And when you do this, it actually works perfectly. But if it's dragged to one side, you can see it goes over that bony part there, and it causes a lot of pain. Now, although the quad and the glutes protect the muscles and align the knee properly, there's one other thing called the IT band. And the IT band comes down to the side of your knee, onto your kneecap, and right up into your hip. It's a big band of ligament that comes down. And if this is tight as well, it's gonna pull the knee to the side. So yes, you can strengthen the quad to bring the knee back, but if you don't loosen this off as well, you end up, not working as well as it should. So, people do foam rolling, you'll often see people do this on the floor, and it's very, very painful because you got the end or the apex of that the foam roller digging into the side of your leg, and if you're a little bit heavier, it actually really, really hurts. So a nicer way to do it, and get the same benefit as well, is that you start a little bit high, and you can put as much pressure on as you want. You just lean into it a little bit. Now, instead of rolling up and down this way, I want you to roll your body inwards, then outwards, okay? And then once you do the top bit, you take it down 1/2 inch, lean into it again, go back, and then forward. And when you find a really painful point, like that is for me, you're gonna settle here for about 20 seconds. And it'll dissipate, it won't feel so hard, right? Then you take it off again, drop it down a little bit more, lean into it again, okay? And then you're gonna roll forward and roll backwards, and when you find the spot, you're just going to hold. So what it looks like is that this will go down, you roll your body around it, goes down a bit further, down again. And when you release your IT band and you strengthen the muscles, you're more likely to have way less pain than if you just strengthen alone, which is really, really important. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is weight loss. If you're somebody that is carrying quite a bit of extra weight and you're getting it, it's going to exacerbate your pain, okay? Because think of it like what I said earlier, it's 3 to 5 times your body weight going through that poor knee joint. And if your muscles are weak and you're carrying extra weight, that is a huge amount of stress and strain going through those joints, and it causes way more pain as well. my recommendation would be is to definitely try and lose some weight. It's gonna help you take a stress off the joints, strengthen the muscles, and you're gonna be in a good shape. Now, if you're struggling with that and you're looking for a way to lose weight, you got no idea what to do whatsoever, I do have a free guide in the description called the 10-Step Calorie Deficit Blueprint. It counts every single way that you need to become in a calorie deficit so you can lose weight. So go and check that out, and I guarantee that if weight loss is a struggle for you, you're going to be much more educated and much more prepared to lose some of that weight, right? So I hope you enjoyed the video. That's my best tips possible, my 3 best exercises and 1 bonus to help you walk up and down stairs a little bit easier.